আমি উঠিবনি সকাল ଫ୍ୟାନ୍ କେ ଜୋର ବୁଲଛୁ ମତେ ଟିକେ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ୍ସ ବି କହୁନୁ ତ କାମ କରୁଛି କଣ ଏଟା କାହିଁକି ଖିଚିଛ କାହିଁକି ମେଡିସିନ କର
ସୁଜି ହେଇଛି ମେଘା
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have already shared my screen. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
So last class we have already discussed about various terminologies of cost. So today we are going to discuss about the classification of cost. How cost can be classified? So cost can be classified by taking various parameters or various bases into the consideration. So these are the various bases like we can classify the cost on the basis of element or element wise. Nature wise cost classification can be done. Function wise cost classification can be done. Again,
ମୋ
other
ସହିତ କଥା ହେଲା ତମକୁ କାଇଁ ଦିଥର ଫୋନ କଲାଣି ତା ଗୋଟେ କୁହ।
any query from your side? I think someone is asking. No? Okay. So these are the various parameters through which we can able to classify the cost. Okay. So let us start with the first one. On the basis of element, how we can classify the cost. So on the basis of element, the cost can be classified into three types. Please remember, one is material cost, second one is labor cost, third one is overhead cost. Okay. So whenever we manufacture any kind of product, generally we need raw material in order to manufacture a particular product. Again, we need the effort of human resources, that is labor cost. Okay. And side by side, we need also some other expenses. So these all are overheads. So according to elements wise, it may be material cost, it may be labor cost, or it may be overhead cost. Okay. So here, if you look at this particular picture, you can able to understand this is the product. Here the product is car. Here the product is car. Okay. So in order to manufacture the car, What are the costs we need? Material. What are the material? If you see, car is consist of various materials. Let's say tires are there, body of the car is there, window is there, glass is there, steering is there. So these are the materials. These are the materials we need to build up a car or to manufacture a car. So raw material that become an integral part of the product and that can be easily traceable. Whenever we are talking about this direct material cost or material cost, these materials can be, raw materials can be one of the integral part of the product and that can be easily traceable. We can able to identify the raw material easily whenever we are manufacturing any kind of product. Like here, the product is car. So tire is the raw material, we can say, or body of the car is the raw material, engine of the car is the raw material that we need. Okay, so material cost is one of the type of cost according to classification, according to element-wise classification. Okay. Again, second category of cost according to element-wise is labor cost. So, in order to build up a car, we need the effort of human resources because automobile workers are there. In auto, there are business workers. There may be engineers. There may be welders. There may be what you can say, electricians. What happened?
Sir, କାର ଗୋଟେ mic on ଅଛି ତ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଆୱାଜ clear ହିଁ ଶୁଭୁନି।
Clearly ଶୁଭୁନି?
Sir, କାର ଗୋଟେ mic ଅଛି please off କରନ୍ତୁ ତାକି ସାରଙ୍କ ଆୱାଜ clear ଆସିବ।
Just a minute. Please mute yourself. Shivani Madam, Arpan Ashutosh Sir, PC Paddy Sir. Okay. If you want to ask any doubt or any query, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Otherwise, please mute yourself. Everyone. Now, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Very good. So we are talking about this element-wise cost classification. On the basis of element, cost can be classified into three categories. Please remember material, labor, as well as overhead expenditure. So whenever we are manufacturing any kind of product, we need material. Material is one of the integral part or core part of the product. Second, again, we need to assemble all the materials to build up a product. We need the labor. Labor means human resource effort. So this is known as labor. Okay, labor cost. And side by side, in order to assemble a particular product, we need also other expenses. These are known as overheads. So labor cost is also another integral part of the product. So here, if you look at the wages paid to automobile assembly workers in order to build up a car, that is coming under labor cost. Clear? And these are the manufacturing overheads. Manufacturing overheads are generally the components of indirect material cost and indirect labor cost. So manufacturing cost that cannot be easily traced directly to specific units produced. It may not be easily traced directly, but these are some of the cost. Like material cost, it is easily traceable. So whenever we are going to manufacture a car, we need tire, we need body, we need steering, we need window. So these are the raw material which can be easily identifiable, easily traceable. So raw material costs are easily traceable. Again, labor cost. Labor cost also easily traceable, like wages paid to worker, that is easily traceable. But there are some indirect material cost, indirect labor cost, which cannot be easily traceable directly. So these are coming under manufacturing overhead. Okay. So material used to support the production process. In order to support the production process, what are the materials we need? We need, let's say, lubricants. to run the machinery smoothly, and some cleaning supplies are there used in the automobile. Okay, so these are some of the indirect. Please mute yourself. Okay, so these are the some of indirect material examples. Okay, like lubricants, cleaning supplies that are used in the automobile in order to assemble the car. Again, like indirect material, we also need some indirect labor cost. Please mute yourself. Just a minute. Okay, am I audible right now? Am I audible, everyone? Okay. So I have already disabled the mute option. If you want to drop your query, you can drop in chat box, okay? So that I can unmute to you, and you can raise your query and concern. Okay. So let us continue. So there are some indirect materials as well as indirect labors. So these are known as manufacturing overheads, but these are not easily traceable and easily identifiable. Clear? So on the basis of element wise, there are three types of cost. Please remember: material, labor, as well as overheads. So by purpose wise, we can say, again, the cost can be classified into two categories. One is direct cost and second one is indirect cost. What is direct cost? A cost which is related to a particular cost objective and can be traced to it in an economical feasible way. These are known as direct cost. What are the indirect costs? Now, a cost which is related to a particular cost objective but cannot be traced to it in an economically feasible way. So indirect costs are allocated to cost objectives. So for example, as we have already taken the example of manufacturing a car, here there are some costs which can be easily traceable and easily identifiable, like material cost and labor cost. So these are the direct costs. Some direct material and direct labor costs are there. Direct expenses are there, which can be easily traceable, which can be easily identifiable. So these are the direct costs. But there are some indirect costs are there, which cannot be traced easily. But these costs are also there. So indirect costs can be allocated to cost objective. So direct cost, as I have already told you, let's say material cost is a direct cost. Okay, what are indirect costs? Now, indirect cost, let's say in the factory manufacturing unit or manufacturing industry, what we are doing, we are paying salary to security guards. So when we are paying salary to the security guard, so security guard is taking salary from the whole industry, but within the industry, various departments are there. Yes or no? Each and every department, various material costs are there, various labor costs are there. So here, the security guard salary can be allocated into various departments. Let's say within the industry, 5 departments are there. For 5 departments, security salary is this much. So entire security salary can be allocated among or distributed among these 5 departments. Clear? So here security guard is there, but security guard is not directly involved with the production process. So this is indirect cost. So on the basis of purpose, cost may be direct cost or cost may be indirect cost. So look here, if you look at this particular diagram, you can able to understand very easily what a direct cost which can be easily traceable to from the cost object, that are direct cost which cannot be easily traceable. These are known as indirect cost. So indirect cost can be allocated. Indirect cost can be allocated. Okay. So as we have already taken the example of this material and labor cost, so material and labor cost, these are coming under direct material and direct labor cost, which are coming under direct cost. Again, indirect cost like your factory supervisor salary, or we can say security guard salary, or any rental expenses of the factory, or electricity charges of the entire factory. So these all are coming under indirect expenses. Clear? So on the basis of purpose, cost can be classified into two. Please remember, direct cost as well as indirect cost. Okay. So this is the element-wise cost classification as we have already discussed. So cost can be classified into 3 elements. First one is material, second one is labor, and third one is expenses. So under each category, again, there may be direct and indirect. So whenever we are manufacturing a particular product, there may be direct material cost, there may be indirect material cost. Whenever we are again manufacturing that particular product, there may be direct labor, direct expenses, indirect expenses. So direct components are there, indirect components are there. So by taking these direct and indirect components, we can able to prepare the statement of cost or cost sheet, which we are going to discuss later on. Clear? But remember, material, labor, and expenses are the 3 elements of the cost. It may be direct and indirect. So if you look at the example of material cost, whenever we are manufacturing the car, as I have already told you, what are the direct costs to manufacture the car? Tire of the car, steering of the car, body of the car. So these are the direct material we need. Engine of the car. What are the indirect material? Indirect material we need, that means some lubricants we need in order to operate the machine. Some toolbox we need in order to assemble the car. So these all are the indirect cost. Again, direct labor means those who are directly involved in the factory in order to manufacture the car or assemble the car, like your wages paid to automobile, what you can say, laborer or worker. These are the direct expenses. Again, what are the indirect labor expenses? Indirect labor expenses are like your factory supervisor salary, or we can say security guard salary. So these all are the example of indirect labor cost. Again, expenses may be direct or may be indirect. There are some expenses which are directly involved into the production process, and there are some expenses which are not directly involved into the production process. So these all are indirect expenses. So please remember, the summation of, that means summation of indirect material, indirect labor, and indirect expenses is known as overhead. Clear? Summation of indirect, all indirect components are known as overheads. Again, overheads may be manufacturing overhead, or it may be selling and distribution overhead. It may be research and development overhead, like that. So again, overhead can be classified into various categories. But please remember, all the indirect components, summation of indirect components are known as overheads. So the aggregation of indirect expenses are known as overheads. Clear? Did you understand? Yes or no? For yes, you just type Y. If no, just type N. Very good. So let us proceed to next. So these are the function-wise classification of cost. Cost can be again classified on, as per the various functions performed by the business organizations. So what are the various functions performed by the business organizations? Whenever we are doing business, production we are doing. So production is one function again. Selling distribution is there. That is another function. Management of human resources. So that's why human resource department is there, or personal management department is there. So human resources, that is also another function. Administration is also there. Okay, selling distribution is also there. So these are the various functions performed by an organization. Okay, so on the basis of these various functions, various types of costs are there. So what are the costs associated with regards to production, process, or production are known as production cost. Again, there are some expenses or some costs which are associated with the administration process. So these all are known as administrative cost or administration cost. There are some costs which are related with the selling and distribution process. These all are known as selling and distribution overheads or selling and distribution expenses, or we can say selling and distribution cost, like your payment to salesman's commission, making advertisement, okay, paying what we can say, transportation charges to any logistic company in order to deliver the goods. So these all are coming under selling and distribution expenses. So on the basis of functions, cost may be classified into many types also. It may be production, administration, selling and distributions, human resources, okay, and other departmental costs are also there. So these are two examples I have already taken, like your selling and distribution expenses, cost necessary to secure the order and deliver the product. In order to secure the order and deliver the product, we need various costs. So these are coming under selling costs. Again, administrative costs, like wherever we are paying salary to executives, like salary, incentives, perquisites, etc. All executive, organizational, and clerical costs. So these all are coming under administrative costs. So what are the various functions performed by an organization? On the basis of that, we can also classify the cost. Clear? Again, on the basis of changes in activity or volume, changes in activity, when the activity level of activity is changing or volume of production is changing, on the basis of that also we can classify the cost. So it is based on how a cost will react to changes in the level of activity. When the level of activity is changing or volume of production is changing, how the cost is reacting. The most common classification on the basis of these changes in a level of activity or changes in the volume of production, there are three types of costs. Please remember, first one is variable cost, second one is fixed cost, and third one is semi-variable cost, which is also otherwise called as mixed cost. Clear? So on the basis of volume of activity, there are three types of cost. It may be variable cost, it may be fixed cost, or it may be mixed cost. So mixed cost is otherwise also known as semi-variable cost. So what is variable cost? So variable cost means which can be varied, which can be changed on the basis of change of volume of production or level of activity. Suppose we are going to manufacture a car. In order to manufacture a car, in order to manufacture a single car means one car. What are the material we need? Whenever we are going to manufacture the 500 cars, so are we need the same material? Whenever we are manufacturing one car, what are the material cost or material we need whenever we are going to manufacture 500 cars? Are we need the same material? The answer is no. That means the material, we need more material. Whenever we are manufacturing the car, the material cost will increase. More number of car production, directly the material cost will also increase. That means more material cost we need. side by side, labor cost also, we need more labor cost. Whenever we are manufacturing a single car, one car, what are the labor cost we need? Whenever we are going to manufacture 500 car, definitely the labor cost will increase. So here, this labor cost, material cost, these are coming under the variable cost. When the level of production will increase, automatically these costs will also increase. Clear? So variable costs are those costs which can vary, which can change on the basis of the level of activity or level of production or volume of production. But on the other hand, fixed costs are those costs which will remain fixed for a particular level of activity or particular period, which will remain fixed for a particular activity for a particular period. Jitendra Kumar Parida sir is saying purchasing of air tickets is a variable cost. It changes by time. I am not considering time, sir. Suppose for one person your ticket fare, for one person what is the ticket fare you need? Whenever you are booking ticket for 500 person, automatically your fare will increase on the basis of your number of persons. That I want to say. Okay. So you are considering the time as a factor, but here we are not considering the time. We are considering the level of activity or volume of production. Clear? Where the volume will be more, automatically the cost will be more. So that is variable cost. But on the other hand, fixed cost means what? Which will remain fixed for a particular level of activities or particular level of production or particular period. Very simple example I can cite here is that rent, factory rent or office rent. Whenever we are taking this example, office rent or factory rent, that means we are paying for a certain period per month. Let's say factory rent is 1 lakh. So whether we are manufacturing 500 units, we have to pay 1 lakh. If we are manufacturing 0 units, we have to pay again 1 lakh. So that will remain fixed. Okay. So fixed costs are another type of cost on the basis of changes in activities which will remain fixed for a certain level of activity or certain volume of production. But semi-variable cost or mixed cost are those type of costs where the cost is partly variable and partly fixed. Cost is partly variable and partly fixed. Can you cite any example of semi-variable cost? Semi-variable means, semi means what? A part. That means partly fixed and partly vary. There are some costs which are partly fixed and partly vary. So I can tell, I can take the example as electricity bill. Whenever we are paying the electricity bill, we are paying the electricity bill on the basis of the units consumed. Side by side, we are also paying the meter rate. Meter rate is fixed per month. Yes or no? Let's say per month meter rate is your 30 rupees. So whether you are consuming electricity or not, whether you are using any electricity or not, but you have to pay the meter rent at least at the end of the month. Okay, ऐसा नहीं कि हम लोग कुछ भी यूज नहीं किए हैं electricity in this month, so will not pay any bill. We have to pay minimum amount of bill. That is known as your meter rent. So meter rent is fixed in nature. Side by side, the number of units consumed, on the basis of that, the electricity company will charge the electricity bill. So very good example of this variable cost is electricity bill, or we can say the telephone bill. In telephone bill also, some telephone rate are there side by side. On the basis of your use, you have to pay the bill. Clear? So on the basis of level of activity or volume, there are 3 types of classification: variable cost, fixed cost, and mixed cost. So look here, this is one example. Variable cost varies in total in direct proportion to changes in the level of activities. Like your total texting bill. Suppose to text one message, you have to the telephone operator is charging 1 rupees. So whenever you are texting 100 messages, so you have to pay 100 rupees. That is varying. Again, fixed cost. So it is constant within a relevant range. That means to up to a particular level of activities or particular what we can say, volume of production. Okay, a monthly contract fee for your cell phone. So whenever you are paying, your telephone operator is charging that in a month you have not used your cell phone for a particular month, but you have to pay the bill. You have to pay the bill. So here, monthly telephone rent is there. At least you have to pay the monthly telephone rent. So that is fixed in nature. So monthly telephone rent is if there, that is fixed in nature. But whenever we are talking about this semi-variable cost, partly fixed and partly variable. As you have already taken the example of electricity charges, meter rent is fixed, and side by side, on the basis of the number of units consumed, you need to pay the bill. Is it clear? Up to this, clear or not clear? Okay. So, this is the classification of cost on the basis of level of activities. Next, on the basis of nature, cost can be classified into two. First one is period cost and second one is, first one is product cost and second one is period cost. So product cost are manufacturing costs which are accumulated as inventories. So these are associated with the product. It includes the direct material, direct labor, and direct overhead. Okay, so in order to manufacture a product, what do we need? We need material. What do we need? We need labor or human resource, effort of human resources. What do we need? We need also other expenses. So these are the costs or expenses which we need in order to manufacture a product. So up to sell, these products are shown and valued as inventory, and they form a part of the balance sheet also. Product cost. Product cost means from the point of your manufacturing to point of production. After producing the finished goods, what we are doing? We are keeping them as inventory. We are keeping them as the finished goods. So finished goods is also known as the stock. Okay. So up to this, what are the costs associated? These all are known as the product cost. In order to manufacture the product, we need material, we need labor, general direct material, direct labor, direct overhead. So these all are the product cost. But period cost are the other costs which are relating to a particular period. As you have already taken the example of the fixed cost. So fixed cost is another example of the period cost, we can say. It is for a particular period. Monthly rent of your office, monthly rent of the industry or factory. So this is one example of period cost. We are paying or we are meeting those expenses relating to a particular period. So period costs are all other costs of operating the businesses. Expense in the accounting period they are incurred. Very good example is general administrative expenses, selling expenses, and financial expenses. These all are period costs. Financial expenses like, let's say we are incurring some kind of, what we can say, interest on loan. That is financial expenses. Interest on loan we are paying for a particular period. General administrative expenses. Office manager is there. We have to pay the salary. In a month, let's say manager is not working. COVID हो गया और दूसरा कोई situation हो गया. So the factory or office is already closed out. Still then, we have to pay the manager's salary. We have to pay the salary of the executives. We have to pay the salary of the clerical staffs. So these all are relating to a particular period. So on the basis of nature, it may be product cost or it may be period cost. And on the basis of another category, that is controllability, the cost may be controllable cost and cost may be uncontrollable cost. Controllable means these are some costs which can be controlled with proper monitoring and supervision process. Very good example is material and labor expenses. Material and labor cost, direct material, direct labor. So this can be controlled to some extent. How? With proper supervision and proper monitoring process. Sir, once again, please explain the nature of cost. On the basis of nature, product cost is there and period cost is there. Product cost means there are some costs which are associated with the product, like material. In order to build up a particular product, we need material, we need labor. So this is the product cost. But period cost means what? These are those expenses which are relating to a particular period, time duration, per month, per year. Okay. So for example, for period cost, we can say the manager salary. Manager salary means at the end of the month, we have to pay the salary to our manager. Whether manager is working or not working, but it has to receive its salary at the end of the month. This is for a particular period. But whenever we are talking about product cost means the material or the labor we need to manufacture the product. So it is related to product. Whenever we are talking about this manager salary, it may not be directly related to product. Okay. So this is all about the product cost and period cost on the basis of nature. Next, on the basis of controllability, it may be controllable cost and it may be uncontrollable cost. There are some costs which we can able to control on the basis of proper supervision and monitoring process, like material and labor expenses. If we appoint the supervisor, workers are working within the factory. If no supervisor is there, no control process is there, so they will come at their own and they will go at their own. They will take the break at their own. So they will not work up to 8 hours. So as a result, our productivity level may not able to increase. But if we make proper supervision, proper monitoring process, we can able to control the labor cost. We can able to control the material cost. Okay. So these, that is material and labor costs, are coming under again controllable cost. Uncontrollable cost, they are not influenced by management or any group of people. They include rent of a building, salaries, and other indirect expenses. Whatever precautionary measures we may take, we may not be able to control. It will happen. Rent of the building. At the end of the month, whether we are producing or not producing, whether we are earning any type of revenue or not earning, that doesn't make any sense. We have to pay the rent, monthly rent, at the end of each and every period. Salary of our employee, whether they are working or not working, but we have to pay the monthly salary of the employees. Clear? But in case of material and labor, directly with the involvement of our supervision and monitoring process, to some extent we can able to control it. Clear? So that's why on the basis of controllability, the cost may be controllable and non-controllable. Again, on the basis of normality, cost can be classified into two: normal cost and abnormal cost. So normal costs are generally the costs which are associated in the course of ordinary business. That means ordinary course of business, there are some costs which are associated. Otherwise, you can say these are the regular costs. Regular cost. Okay. So they are the sum of the actual direct material cost, actual labor cost, and other direct expenses. So these are the normal costs. This will happen in our day-to-day life. Examples like your repair, maintenance, salary paid to employees, these are the normal costs. Whenever we are operating the business, so these are the activities we have to perform, and these are the expenses we are going to meet. So repair and maintenance expenses, salary expenses, and your if we are manufacturing the raw material, labor expenses, so these all are the normal costs because it will happen normally in the ordinary course of business. So these are the regular costs, and these costs will incur whenever we are doing the business. So this is normal cost. But there are other type of costs which are known as abnormal costs. So abnormal costs are unusual and irregular. Please remember, these costs are sometimes known as the accidental cost. due to any accident, mishaps, if any cost will incur, so these costs are known as abnormal cost. So generally abnormal costs are the accidental cost. Destruction due to fire. किसी को पता नहीं चलता है कब फायर होगा, ड्यू टू फायर डिस्ट्रॉय और डिस्ट्रक्शन होगा, हम लोग को पता नहीं है. सो दिस हैपेंस ड्यू टू accidents. So these are the abnormal costs. Shutdown of machinery. The machine is working properly, we are producing the goods, but immediately what happens in one fine day, the machine got shut down. Again, it will take 5 days, 7 days, or 10 days in order to bring to that particular machinery into the functional form. Lockouts. Okay, so these are the examples of abnormal cost. So on the basis of normality, it may be normal cost. So normal costs are regular cost and abnormal costs are irregular cost. Clear? Up to this, any doubt? Is it clear or not clear? If clear, write C. If not clear, write N. Am I audible, everyone? Okay. Let us move to next. So on the basis of accounting period, again, cost can be classified into two. One is capital expenditure and second one is revenue expenditure. So revenue expenditure are the costs which are for the current accounting period. Any expenditure where the benefit can be consumed within the same accounting period are coming under revenue expenses, like printing and stationery expenses. This will be cost. So this is relating to a particular accounting period. Telephone bill, this is relating to a particular accounting period. So these are the revenue expenses. So these are also part of a cost, accounting period cost. Again, capital expenditures are there. So these are another type of cost where the benefits can be consumed beyond one accounting period. Very good example, like whenever we are purchasing or whenever we are making any kind of expenses to acquire a particular asset like furniture, land and building, computer. That means here we are meeting the expenditure once, but getting the benefits in a series of years. So these are known as capital expenditures. So capital expenditure is another type of accounting period cost. So where the benefit will consume in a series of years or series of period. But revenue expenses are the type of expenses where the benefit will be consumed within the same accounting period, within an year. So on the basis of accounting period, cost may be capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. Again, on the basis of time, it may be historical cost. That means it is purely based on the past data. A cost computed after production from the records made concurrently with various steps of production. So we have already produced the goods. That means production is already happened. On the basis of the data, that means past information, we are going to determine the costs. That is known as historical cost. But there is another type of cost which is known as predetermined cost. Predetermined costs are known as estimated cost. Before going to produce something, first we have to predetermine the cost. First we have to determine the cost. Let's say in the next month we are going to produce 500 units of product. So in order to produce the 500 unit of product, what should be the raw material cost? What should be the labor cost? What should be the other head cost? So we are making one estimate. On the basis of estimate, we are predetermining that this will be our cost of production in order to produce 500 units. So that is known as predetermined cost. So on the basis of time, the cost may be historical or the cost may be predetermined cost. Is it clear to all of you? Yes or no? Okay. So this is the diagram related to elements of cost we have already discussed. As I have already told you, material cost can be classified into direct and indirect material, labor, direct and indirect labor, expenses, direct and indirect expenses. So summation of all indirect components. Look here, indirect material, indirect labor, and indirect expenses is known as overheads. So this element cost is quite essential whenever we are going to prepare the cost sheet. Sir, predetermined, one second. Okay. Predetermined cost means before we are going to do something, first we are estimating the cost. That estimated cost is known as predetermined cost. Let's say in next month, we are going to produce 500 units of product. So in order to produce 500 units of product, what are the costs we need to incur? Relating to raw material, what will be cost? Relating to labor, what will be cost? Relating to other expenses, what will be the cost? So sum total of all these costs is known as the predetermined cost. So before we are going to produce or before going for the production of these 500 units, first we are estimating that what will be the amount of cost. It is just like whenever you are going planning for a particular event, you are making some estimates. Let's say you want to plan for a picnic. So whenever you are planning for a picnic, what you are fixing? You are fixing a particular budget by taking the time, venue into consideration. Clear? So that estimated cost is otherwise also known as predetermined cost. So after making the particular event, you can able to know what is the actual cost. But before going to make any type of event, what are the costs you have already estimated, that is known as predetermined cost. Clear? Okay. So these are the various classification of cost we have already discussed. Right now, we are going to discuss very briefly about the difference between financial accounting and cost accounting. So we have already taken various parameters. On the basis of parameter, we can able to differentiate between these two, financial accounting as well as cost accounting. If you look at the purpose, the main purpose or objective of the financial accounting is to know the financial position as well as income of the business. Okay. But cost accounting, the main purpose of cost accounting is to provide detailed cost information to the management. Whenever we are manufacturing a particular product, what will be the detailed cost? The entire information about the cost. Entire information like your material cost, labor cost, overhead cost, other expenses cost. So detail information about the cost it will provide. Regarding statutory requirement, according to financial accounting, preparation of financial statement is a must because Companies Act is there and Income Tax Act is there. So according to Companies Act and Income Tax Act, each and every company must have to prepare their annual financial statement. It is compulsory. But in cost accounting, it is not compulsory, it is voluntary. You may prepare, may not prepare, it is not mandatory to any business. Coverage. So financial accounting covers the accounts of whole business relating to the commercial transactions. You may have n number of departments, 5 departments, 7 departments, 20 departments are there. By combining it together, the company or the business has to prepare its financial statement and it has to report at the end of the period. So it covers the accounts of whole business relating to all commercial transactions. But in cost accounting, it covers transactions relating to a specific activity, like relating to production, relating to sales, relating to services. Okay. Again, recording, whenever we are talking about recording of transaction, financial accounting records the transactions in a subjective manner. That means according to nature of expenditure, whether it is capital expenditure or revenue expenditure or the basis of nature of expenditure. But in cost accounting, it records the transactions in an objective manner. That means according to purpose for which the cost is incurred. Let's say we have incurred the cost for procurement of raw material or for labor expenses or labor cost or for other expenses. So these all are particular purpose. So it records the transactions in a objective manner. Again, financial accounting records cost which is in historical nature. That means financial accounting records the what you can say. It's a financial statement on the basis of the past data or historical data. But cost accounting records both historical as well as estimated data. Valuation of stock. In financial accounting, stock is valued. The valuation of stock can be made at cost price or market price, whichever is less. But in cost accounting, stock is valued at cost price only. Only at cost price stock can be valued as per cost accounting. So next parameter is analysis of cost and profit. Financial accounting does not show the cost profit of individual product, individual department, and individual process. It shows the overall profit of the business. Particular period, let's say 1 year, within the 1 year, what is the overall profit of a particular business concern, it will show. But it cannot show you what is the profit from X department, Y department, Z department, or A product, B product, C product, like that. But cost accounting shows the profitability and cost of each product, each process, each operation, each individual also. Clear? So these are the various difference between financial accounting as well as cost accounting. Again, duration of reports. Reports are prepared on an annual basis in financial accounting. But as per cost accounting, reports are prepared on daily, weekly, and annual basis. Types of statement under financial accounting, general statements are prepared like your profit and loss account, balance sheet. But under cost accounting, special purposes statements are prepared relating to reports of loss of materials, idle time reports, variance reports. And in financial accounting, with the help of financial accounting, we may not able to fix the price of a product. So it fails to guide the formulation of the pricing policy, but cost accounting provides adequate data for formulating the pricing policy of a product or service. Clear? So these all are the basic difference between financial accounting as well as cost accounting. Is it clear to all of you up to this? The difference between financial accounting and cost accounting? Yes or no? Okay. So let us proceed to next. This is the last part of our discussion for today's session, that is role of management accountant. Okay. In 21st century, management accountant plays crucial roles in the business. Okay, it plays many roles. Out of many roles, I have cited very few important roles, like management accountant involve itself in the profit planning of the business, financial planning, as well as capital budgeting. Capital budgeting means for expansion, diversification, and modernization of business, the business may undertake various profitable projects. So for that also the management accountant plays one of the important role. Comparison between the standard and actual expenditure. Standard means it is otherwise known as the cost, what should be, and actual cost, simply you can say what is actual or what could be. So comparison between the standard and actual expenditure means it will compare what should be the cost and what is the actual cost. So for that purpose, the management accountant can go for variance analysis. Suppose we have already fixed that for a particular product, the cost should be 10 rupees. After production, we could able to know that the cost is actually 12 rupees. We have already fixed, or we have already set up the standard that it should be 10, but right now it is 12. That means the cost exceeds. Here, what is the variance? 10 minus 12, that means minus 2. Minus 2 means it is unfavorable situation for the business. Okay. On the other hand, on the contrary, you can say we have already set up the standard as sale, but right now the expenses already incurred 8. Again, 2. 2 difference is variance is 2. That is positive. Positive means we are in a favorable situation. So with the comparison of standard and actual expenditure, we can able to know the situation of the business, whether we are at favorable situation or unfavorable situation. That means adverse situation. Again, management accountant is also protect the business assets. Its duty is to protect the various class of assets of the business. Again, it formulate tax policies for tax planning and tax management in order to manage the tax, in order to plan for the tax for the business organization, how to pay less amount of tax or how to minimize the tax burden for the business. So for that purpose, the management accountant also formulate various tax policies. Again, it monitored the economic and social forces as well as government policies. Why? Because the business or individual entity is performing within the industry. Please remember, again, industry is performing its role within the economy. So economy is a macro concept. Within the economy, various industries are there. Within the various industries, various firms or various entities are there. Various companies are there. So when management accountant is there for a particular company, so it has to monitor what are the economic and social forces as well as government policies. These are the macro factors, external factors. So by taking the external factors as external forces into consideration, it has to formulate the policy for the business. And on the basis of that policy for the business, it can able to predict the future direction of the business. So these all are various important roles played by the management accountant in 21st century. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? If you have any query, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Raise your query and raise your concern. Please. I hope right now you can unmute yourself. Any query from your side? Dibyajyoti Das sir is asking, sir, can you show the previous slide difference between FA and CA? Okay, sir. Definitely. This one?
सर इसके पहले वाला
इससे पहले वाला, अच्छा. Is this one?
yes sir
Okay. What is the problem? Is there any problem or query? Any doubt regarding this? Difference between financial accounting and cost accounting?
Sir, could you please
No,
share the
sir.
slides?
Which one? Someone is
Sir,
asking.
all the sir, or whichever you teach
क्या
us
हुआ
today.
भट्टी सर बोलिए.
Sir, could
I'm
you please
asking.
share the slide with us?
After completion of this program, actually, so let us quickly finish it fast because time is very limited. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
then I'll say. ठीक है?
Okay, thank you,
सर
sir.
इसके नेक्स्ट वाला एक बार दिखा दीजिए
Which one?
सर इसके नेक्स्ट स्लाइड
Next year, पहले वाला. This
इसका
one?
नेक्स्ट हाँ यस
13 and 14 point. So I have point number 13, 14 means what? I have already taken 13, 14 parameters. to differentiate between your financial accounting and cost accounting. Okay. Any more query?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Others, please. If you have any query from your side, please proceed. No, sir. Okay. So then let us wind up the session for today. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining with me. Have a good day. So we are going to
Thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
thank you so much.
Have a nice day, sir.
Nice.
Have a nice day, sir.